All right, let's talk about Windows Service Accounts. We're going to get into how we can all move away from those, let's be honest, pretty risky password spreadsheets and really start locking down how our apps and services access things on the network. You know the drill, right? If you're an admin, it's just a constant headache. You're always rotating passwords for a dozen different services, trying to keep track of them. It's a total pain, and honestly, it's a huge security risk just waiting to blow up. But here's the good news. Windows Server actually has solutions for this built right in, and they're designed to completely automate password management. This is going to make your life way easier and, more importantly, make your whole network a lot more secure. So what are we really talking about here? Well, a service account is basically a dedicated ID just for your software. The best way to think about it is like a special key card that you give to a robot employee. It can only get into the rooms it needs to do its job, and you're in full control of its permissions, all without giving it a full-blown user login. Okay, so let's get into it. We're going to start with the evolution of these managed accounts, kicking things off with the sMSA and then its more powerful sibling, the gMSA. So the whole story really begins with this one, the Standalone Managed Service Account, or sMSA for short. This was really Microsoft's first big step toward getting admins like you and me out of the business of manually managing passwords for services. The number one rule for an sMSA is simple. One account is tied to one and only one computer. It's a total soloist. But the benefits are huge. Active Directory takes care of rotating the password automatically so you never have to touch it. It also makes managing the service principal name, the SPN, way easier. You can just think of the SPN as the unique network address for that service. This whole design makes it absolutely perfect for locking down one critical application on a single server. But that soloist design? It immediately created a new problem. What are you supposed to do when your app needs to run across a whole farm of servers? The sMSA just can't handle that. And that's the exact reason Microsoft came up with a Group Managed Service Account, or gMSA. So if the MSA is the soloist, the gMSA is the team player. It totally gets rid of that one account, one computer limit. This thing is built from the ground up for modern apps. We're talking server farms, services running behind a load balancer, the whole shebang. All of a sudden, your app has one single consistent identity across every single server, and the domain controller manages the password for the entire group. This one thing solves the absolute nightmare of trying to keep credentials in sync. So here's the bottom line. If your service lives on just one machine, sMSA is a secure, simple, fantastic choice. But the second you need to scale that out to a farm of servers, you've got to graduate to a gMSA. It's a really critical difference that maps directly to how your application is built. But, the threat landscape is always changing, which brings us to the next generation of security, the Delegated Managed Service Account, or dMSA. This is a brand new thing coming in Windows Server 2025. This quote from Microsoft, "This is the key to the whole thing." A dMSA completely changes the authentication game. It's not just about what the account knows, the password. It's now also about who it is, the actual identity of the machine it's running on. Tying the service account to a specific device identity, man, that is a massive security upgrade. So check this out. Here's how it works. You take a regular service account and you basically convert it into a dMSA. That process links it, cryptographically, to a specific computer's identity in Active Directory. Now, here's the magic trick. The original account's password is now totally disabled. It's useless. So even if an attacker gets on that server and steals the credential hash, they can't use it to move around your network. This is a complete game changer for stopping attacks like ransomware from spreading. Okay, but not every single service needs a super powerful domain identity, right? For the simpler, local stuff, there's another really cool option. Virtual accounts. Think of these as the local specialists. A virtual account isn't a full domain account at all. It's a managed local account. You don't have to deal with its password, ever. And here's the really clever part. If that service needs to access something on the network, it just borrows the identity of the computer it's running on. It's incredibly simple, and it's super secure for any service that doesn't need its own unique identity on the domain. Phew. Okay, so we've got 4 different types of accounts. So how in the world do you choose the right one for the job? Let's break it down right now. Look at this. This table right here is your ultimate cheat sheet. It lays everything out side by side. As you can see pretty clearly, the right choice really depends on your specific situation. Does your app run on a bunch of servers? Is stopping credential theft your absolute #1 priority? Let's just walk through it with a few quick questions. So,
First question, is your app running on a server farm or behind a load balancer? If the answer is yes, then your choice is simple. It's a gMSA, a group managed service account. It's the only one that's built for that kind of many-to-one setup.
Okay, next question. Is your number one absolute top priority stopping an attacker from stealing credentials on a compromised server and then using them to move through your network? If that's you, then the brand new dMSA is your answer. It is designed to shut down that exact threat.
And finally, what if you don't need a complex domain identity at all? What if you just want a simple, no-fuss local account that can still get out and talk to the network? Well, then a virtual account is the perfect fit. Easy. So here's the most important thing to remember from all of this. There is no single best service account. The best choice is always the one that fits your app's design and your security needs. It's all about using the right tool for the job.
And really, that leads us to the final thought here. With amazing new tools like dMSAs, service account security is evolving. It's moving beyond just managing passwords. It's now about building a much more resilient, identity-based defense. So take a good, hard look at your environment and ask yourself, are you using the best tools you have to protect it against what's coming tomorrow? Thanks for watching.